Have you ever wondered, is this just a big-ass insect? No? Well, you should. No, wait, hear me out. This is not just me. I'm not just crazy. You're just being gaslit. Dragons can't be lizards. They couldn't be. Dragons are always seen as big as lizards, but I would beg to differ. Want a biology lesson? Don't lie, I know you want one. It's your second favorite thing, right after a surprise math class as Theodore from Pennsylvania Junior High. Man. Yeah, this is indeed a man. He has many interesting features like 2 brains, 2 chins, 2 balls, 2 cold ones, 2 legs, 2 arms. Weird how everything is in pairs of 2. Think, Theodore, think! Why is it always 2? How about we look at some other animals that are just as much animals as man is? Humans are animals. Don't continue pretending that just because we can build weird-ass looking stretching machines we are no longer animals. Cats can stretch without this. And they also have 2 legs and... oh, I guess it's 4 legs and no hands. Guess they can't catch these hands. What they have and we don't would be 1 tail. Wait. Hold up. Yes, okay, I understand. So, the thing that hurts like hell if we would attempt to replay the scene from the hit series Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I'm not talking about your self-esteem when you realize that this felt way too good for you to ever to admit it. The thing that hurts is your tailbone. Humans have one, and some even 2, and for some weird reason do others see the need to get a 3rd one. It is completely shrunk down, but it is still a tail. Let's move on. That if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and bites in your hand with its weird-ass looking beak teeth, it's a geese. Geese are freaks of nature. Why do they have teeth? For what purpose do they need them? Who thought this was a good idea? Anyways, they also have 2 legs and, well, no arms. But hey, they at least have 2 wings. What weird freaks of nature. They have teeth but no arms. Ah, come on! That doesn't count. That's just something completely different. I guess dolphins are mammals, which makes them more similar to humans than geese. So they have, well, 0 feet, 0 arms. But hey, they have 4 fins and a tail. And something that Siegfried's cut off to eat as the only part of these giant-ass lumps of meat, as the only part that doesn't contain any nutritional value but is extremely important for these animals to properly swim. What's next? Drinking blood? I guess it is. These guys, they have, let's look, 2 legs and 2 rings. Okay, this is just freaking weird, fam. Just look at it. This is how a bad skeleton looks like. All of this is the hand. For reference, this is what a human would look like with bad hands. But you know, in the end, is it still just a hand? Not like spider monkeys. What are those? What are those? What is this? The feet are like hands, but the hands work like feet. And what in the actual wacky wavy inflatable tube man is that? The tail is basically an arm without hand. At least it's not like they have 1,000 feet or something completely impossible like that. It's just 4 gender-confused leg arms and a nonsensical tail. Okay, now you're just going to troll me. This isn't even 1,000. This is just a quintessempede to a centononageton unompede. But you know what the saving grace is? These are small AF. You would never, ever see this abomination of creation in some decent size. Right? Yes, actually. There is not a singular thing that isn't an insect, crustacean or marine animal that has more than 4 leg arms. Like 0, absolutely none. Oh my god, dragons are insects. Or crabs, whichever you like more. For now. Okay, so hear me out. The reason why freaks don't have arms is because these wings, they are the arms. You just don't see these weird long spindly fingers with how they are covered by feathers. Those fins? Yep, you guessed it, that is a hand, which is really easy to see without all the skin covering it. And we could go through everything here, but if it isn't an insect, you get these, and only these choices in character creation. Choose if you want 4 leg arms or none at all, and then you can switch out your feet with hands at your peril. But a tail, you have to take one, no way around that. Why is that the case? Dunno. Energy efficiency most likely, in a combination with stability. But wait, there's even more. Ever tried stomping a bug? Rather get a PhD, that's easier and quicker. There's a reason for that, and one that sounds absurdly similar to our not lizardy friends. The biggest any insect gets is about that large. That means they can do some stupid builds, like having their skeletons on the outside of their body. Even bees, no matter how cute they look, have the skeleton outside and simply grow hair on it. How about we look at our imposter lizards over there? They are known to have steel-hard skin. You know what's the hardest part of the body? The skeleton. Dragons have an exoskeleton, not scales. For things like beetles, you simply don't think about how the shell is armor, as they are so small that this armor is millimeters thick. You wouldn't consider aluminium foil armor, but try punching through a 1 centimeter thick aluminium plate and then tell me how weak you think it is. By the way, while we're at it, wyverns are not related to dragons. They follow the 4-limb rule and are just big as lizard birds. They just happen to look similar outside of the size difference. Going back to dragons, have you ever thought about where they have their wings? On the back. You know who else has wings on their back? Insects. As wings for other life forms are their arms, are there where you would expect arms, but dragons have them smack dead on the back, because they aren't arms. And I am still not done. What else are dragons known for? Fire breath. Or any other form of elementary breath. Fire is simply the most typical form. Let's consider how fire breath can exist. There is the option of creating heat inside the body and then spewing out some flammable liquids and transfers the fire to the outside. Let's think for a moment. What is the defining identifier of lizards? They are cold-blooded, meaning they can't create heat without the help of the sun. Meaning, if dragons are lizards, couldn't they not do this? The other option to create fire would be chemicals that mix together to combustion. Let's think. Do perhaps we know of any other being that uses chemicals in similar ways? It's fireflies. My guys, another insect. They create bioluminescence, but that's just one wrong step away from creating a flame. Dragons have 2 glands of chemicals inside their mouth that excrete mixed together a spontaneous combusting liquid that then gets blown out with a big breath of air, spreading so thin that they aflame. I hear you now screaming that in the east dragons look different, so let's go on the journey to the east with Sebas van Koch. How are dragons depicted over here? Well, for starters, do they not have wings? They also only ever have 4 legs. Hooray! They are not insects. They also have horns or antlers. Deers have those too. But just look at how long they are. Like they are really, really long and round with almost no other features on their body. Did you know that boa have leg bones the way we have tailbones? Oh god. Eastern dragons are just snakes, which are not lizards, by the way. Excursion over. What are dragons known for in terms of where they live? Mountains, which are cold, which is bad for reptiles. They would go into hibernation. Now, you would think that sounds like a dragon, always sleeping. But dragons are always sleeping. They just do that as a pastime. If need be, will they be as active as ever in cold climates, something that is physically not possible for reptiles. Asian dragons can't be snakes, because snakes are reptiles, and if they are reptiles, they could not live in mountains. Asian dragons are also just insects. In fact, I would say Asian ones are specifically related to Oomukade, a giant centipede, that under others is also depicted as wrapping around mountains in a way that looks eerily similar to a dragon when overlooking the feet. Asian dragons are simply centipedes that lost all but 4 segments. They just consist of a head segment, tail segment, and 2 body segments. Think about it. It makes perfect sense. With a body that size, do they need lots of energy? Plant munchers like cows have multiple stomachs to get the most you can out of something with the nutritional value of tissue paper. Dragons may eat meat, but to power a body that size, is that not enough? They have 2 stomachs to perfectly extract all they can out of their food. I will now let you ponder for exactly 5 seconds what option sounds most realistic. A. Dragons are cold-blooded reptiles that somehow can create fire but are incapable of heating up their own body. B. Dragons are insects because they don't follow the rules of nature's every other living being that isn't an insect follows and breathes fire through the same process that is exclusive to insects and marine animals like jellyfish. I wonder which one sounds more realistic and logical to assume. Now that I think about it, griffins also have 4 legs and 2 wings. Oh my god, griffins are just big as bees! And if you have a problem with that, how about you tell me your totally thought through opinion on this in the comments? And don't worry, I will ruin even more of your favorite fantasy everything. Maybe a little bit of everyone's favorite tag is next up. Isn't that every man's dream to body swap with some chick for reasons that are completely hazy and not creepy? Or how about all your superpowers that you like so much? I think I have a good idea how to ruin them all. Fornhan.Ponsan is a school after all, and with that is it seeking the truth, not the ideal. It will unravel all the misconceptions of the world of magic to create the best possible mages. Magic is a science, and only with understanding can you apply the science correctly. You have now been exposed to the Fornhan.Ponsan expansion plans. This means you are obligated to subscribe and write a comment. I do not make the rules. Do not hate the messenger, hate the unfair words that created these rules.